Good afternoon, podcast listeners everywhere. Welcome to After the Bell, a Stunt Brothers production. I'm Martin Stubel.
And I'm Roy Hunt, and we share your pain, having taught a combined 70 years.
70 years.
I know, wow. So get out your marking, organize your supplies, or just pour yourself a coffee.
I think I need something stronger.
That's okay. And listen, engage, and interact with After the Bell, a podcast for you, the hardworking, dedicated teacher who wants free lesson plans, free advice, and a free meal.
Oh, I always show up for a free meal. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear stunt brother. Happy birthday to Roy, who's 32.
32. Right, that rhymes.
It does. Huh?
My birthday was yesterday.
It was yesterday. And I wished you.
And you did wish me
yeah.
Happy birthday.
But last week you kind of said it was in a week, so I think listeners expected it to
maybe
be
exactly
the 27th,
7 days.
Right?
Or
Yeah,
yeah,
it was actually 6 days.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway.
You know, it's just all days kind of blend in.
You're looking mighty old for 32.
I know. It's just like, oh.
Sometimes what's the
how old is that teacher? 32. I'm out. New teachers say, that guy over there is 32. He says, I'm sorry, I have to find a new job
That's
already.
Right. Yeah, right? But
I'm not a young-looking 32. That's right.
No, but you look great for 100.
Which is what some of the younger kids are like, oh, you must be 100.
They just grab a big number.
Good.
They just know it's a big number.
Because it looks like a big number from where I'm sitting, buddy.
That's right. And where we're sitting is the end of July, right?
Oh,
27th.
Yes.
You still have half the summer. You still do.
Still.
But you know what it's like. You start thinking about school because you start to hear those back-to-school ads.
Oh, they started a week ago.
They did, right? And you go, I don't want to hear those.
Yes.
Please stop.
And if you have younger kids, they get like, when are we going to go get our back-to-school clothes? And when are we going to get our school supplies? Like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's just outrageous. So don't go there yet.
No.
It's still July.
Hold off.
Still a long way away.
So,
and we're still a long way to get to our end of each of us, our top 5.
Yes.
Right? So we've been doing the top 5. We've each done up to 5, and we've done our 4.
And now it's I'm doing my 3.
Your third. What's
My
number
third
3
one.
on your list?
My third one is from episode 38, and it's feeding our kids one backpack at a time.
That was a good one.
And it was a really good one. And we were with Joanne Griffiths, who co-founded Backpack Buddies in 2012, along with her daughter, Emily Ann King. And I was just amazed. You know, they feed 6,000 students every week. And last year they delivered 1.6 million meals to children in 73 different communities.
Yeah, and keep them in mind if you do have a little extra money you can make for a donation, because I think they're really a worthwhile group. And hunger isn't just at Christmas.
Yes.
In the winter, it's going on every day.
And food insecurity is an issue that I think with the cost of food rising and different conditions going on for families, that you notice it more, the need for food, kids asking for more.
You do. You really see it.
Constantly.
Yeah. So let's have another field trip to go back to this place that does this wonderful job of feeding kids. And we actually went for a tour of their facility.
Yeah. I think what we should do is we should volunteer for a day.
Yeah.
And just fill some bags.
I would love that.
For the kids.
Yeah. Let's do that, and let's have a good listen, everyone, and we hope you're continuing to enjoy your summer. Mr. Hunt.
Mr. Stubel.
Episode 38.
38.
Season 2, episode
8.
Yeah, you got the
we
pattern.
Get 38, season 2, 8.
Well done.
There you go.
Yeah. So here we are. We're heading into October, and how are things?
Things are going well. I think we have pretty nice. I know. You know, it's funny. Our listeners probably would be
confusing.
upset if we didn't talk about the weather.
I know, but it's always confusing because the weather changes so much. So they hear us talk about how nice it is, and then they hear the episode on Monday, and it's pouring rain. Or else we do the opposite. Oh, it's so cold. Winter's here. And then they go, what are those guys talking about?
But today's a pretty nice day. It started out really cloudy. but for some reason the clouds just shot across the sky early this morning. It's sunny and clear, a little cool, but
and I still cultivated a final zucchini from my garden. And I shared it with you, my friend. My last little zucchini I gave to you.
Zucchini.
It's the little guy,
The last
little
one.
fella.
Yes.
Yeah. But we have been talking on our website and on Facebook, in our Facebook group, Stunt Brothers, Teaching with a Twist, and other places. We've been talking about food insecurity.
Yes.
Because it's something we've read about. It's an issue all across the world for a variety of reasons. Inflation is a big part of it. Lack of supplies. There's so many issues going on.
Things are costly out there.
They are costly out there. There's what CBC just did a segment on food deserts.
Okay.
And there's less and less grocery stores actually out there too. So a lot of smaller communities are forced to go to their local gas station for whatever things they can find there, which tends to be overly processed foods and things that just aren't good for you.
To get fresh produce, you more or less need to have a vehicle or a bicycle or an e-bike, but you have to, for many people, they have to travel a fair distance for it.
It's
not always convenient.
But what was wonderful, just in this CBC article or this discussion on the radio, there's a northern community where they actually have built some greenhouses, they've got funding, and they're actually growing more and more of their own food. And they're able to do that, and that's actually a way to deal with some of the food deserts that are out there. But it's been a concern of ours, and we thought we would do an episode on this topic.
On food insecurity.
Yeah, and to figure out what groups out there are helping with this issue. And we'll start with our, this is all focused on our province of British Columbia, but I think the things that we'll talk about in this episode are going to hit home.
They'll resonate
if you're in
with
Australia, we have listeners all around the world, and it will resonate with them when they hear, oh, that's just like what we're facing right now.
Well, and the big discussion that we've had as being classroom teachers and having seen students with various amounts of food, oftentimes they'll eat their lunch and then want more or need more. So the schools, I know when I first started teaching, the schools had hot lunch programs.
There was a hot lunch program,
and it just seemed to be an abundance of programs within elementary schools and high schools that provided warm food.
Yeah.
And then somehow along the way, those programs disappeared.
Well, the terrible irony is it tends to happen when a province or a state hits a recession, and obviously money goes down that they're receiving. So they cut things like that at a time when you need it more and more.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, and at a time probably you need it the most.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know now that in the schools here in North Vancouver, the government has provided schools, the Ministry of Education has provided schools with refrigerators. And so while they still the schools that I've seen don't have a hot lunch program, they do have a program that provides snacks. They'll provide vegetables, carrots, and celery, and boiled eggs, and that are refrigerated. But there's still not an abundance.
Yeah, because it's sort of spreading out a thin layer, helping maybe as many jurisdictions, maybe rather than focusing on those that need, and that's always a debate too.
Yes.
Right? Do you just focus on the need and give that a larger amount, or you just figure, well, every community has some needs, so let's spread it out? So that's the challenge, I think, for sure.
And I have always wondered, having some access to food for those students who need it at school. They're getting it from Monday to Friday.
Right.
But what happens to those students on the weekend?
Right. That is a big time that you suddenly come on Monday, and you can often tell certain students that I don't think they ate that well right?
Yes.
And as we've said time and time again, if you don't have a full stomach, it doesn't matter what you're teaching. You can't learn. You can't learn. It starts with this.
Yes.
It's a basic need that it starts with.
How do you focus?
You don't.
Right?
You don't.
How do you stay awake?
There's behavioral problems that happen with lack of food, right? So much stems from this. So we were out looking for charities, right? And there's many groups that do different things, but you came across one that you really were excited about, and you wanted to
I came across a
talk
program
about it.
called Backpack Buddies.
Right.
It started here on the North Shore. Actually, it was created by a woman named Joanne Griffiths and her daughter, and they started small, and they have gotten to the point where they provide weekend meals for students all throughout all of BC. So we're going on a field trip today.
Yeah, I think we will. We'll go out there. Let's actually meet Joanne and have a little walk around and then sit down with her and find out about Backpack Buddies. So, Roy, we've arrived at Backpack Buddies and we're going to go on a tour.
That's right. Joanne Griffiths is going to give us a tour of the facility, show us how they put everything together, and then we'll be able to meet with her later and talk about how this company started. Yeah, we'll sit right down and get into the nitty-gritty of it all, but I'm amazed with what I see so far, so let's get going.
Okay, well, this is our office area, and this is where all of the corporate stuff happens. Where we are in that room there is our donor team, because we have like 20,000 donors now over the years. We've accumulated really a solid donor base, which has really helped us move to where we are. It's amazing. That's my office. That's the donor relations management team. There's Emily Ann. She's my daughter and co-founder. That's her office there.
How long have you been here?
We've been in this space now 5 years.
Okay.
We started off, I don't know whether you want me to give the history as we're touring.
No, maybe we'll get to
ask them those questions.
Get to those parts when we're sitting down.
That's Nola. She's our executive assistant. This is Allison. She's head of our volunteer program volunteers. Yes. These two boys are part of our team that help in the warehouse. This is where all the magic happens. All the bags get packed. We have volunteers in. We don't have any in today, unfortunately, that you could see, but we usually have volunteers in every single day, helping us get. We got 5,200 bags out of here every week now, at least up to 5,500. Wow. So this is all of the food supplies that we have. We try to keep a 2-week supply. Lessons from COVID and other black swan events like floods and fires, so that we, when things don't get delivered on time. So we try, although we're quite empty right now at the minute, but I guess we're getting some deliveries in next week probably.
Do you distribute throughout the province?
We do.
Yeah.
And Shaq back there is in charge of getting the bags out to all the different communities. He bags them all up into the boxes, and those go out. We didn't used to do that, but now we have to because it's all over the province. It's 452 schools now? Yeah, all the way up to Stewart.
Wow.
Kootenays, all up and down Vancouver Island. We're in 52 communities now.
It just keeps growing.
We took about 800 kids off our wait list this fall, which is the first time we've been able to expand in 2 years. And they were quickly replaced with another 800. We have about 2,000 kids on our wait list.
The wait list, wow.
It's shut down at the moment because we just don't want to give kids hope that they can get bags when we really have no capacity to add more kids at the moment. We have usually 3 to 4 trucks on the road every day delivering around the Lower Mainland. There's 2 boys out this week or today delivering.
So then how would students who are in the program, how would they get their bag? It's not delivered to their classroom. It would be...
It depends on the school. Some are delivered to the classroom. Some, the kids go to pick them up. Others, the teachers will put them into their bags so that
there must be a way to...
They have it. It's not seen. There's no stigma. Yeah. In some cases, every kid in the school will get a bag, so it's not a big deal. They just line them up on the outside of the classroom, and the kids pick them up on the way by.
Yeah.
If there's only a couple of kids in the school, then they figure out how to do that. We don't have a lot to do with interacting with kids in the schools.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at some of the things you have here. You have soup.
Yep.
And cereal.
Yeah, let's just take a quick peek down the aisle here.
What would typically be in a bag? Because this is meant to be for the weekend.
This is meant to be for the weekend. We usually put 7 to 8 meals in the bag, and then we put snacks, as you can see, fruit roll-ups. This is a new item for us this year, 3 farmers. We try and do all Canadian. This is local.
Okay.
Nice.
This obviously is not.
Yep.
This obviously is not. This.
Cereals,
and Sprague. This is a local company. This is all plant-based, which is my deal because I'm plant-based.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Made Good is made here.
Made Good,
we
yes.
have a deal with them now. We are buying straight from them rather than through Savon or Cisco, who are our main suppliers.
Okay.
These soups by Campbell's are packed especially for us with the snap top. They don't make these small ones. We can't get them. You can't buy these in the stores. So they're a special SKU for us. This is Ocean Brand tuna. We have, usually it has crackers with it. This one doesn't. And then we also get hummus and crackers. Oatmeal, this is local. We're trying to make it as healthy as possible. When we started out, it wasn't great because it's so specific what we need to put into the bags. We need it child-friendly, easily consumable, and they need to be able to prepare it on their own. We literally started with 20 backpacks out of the back of my car. We shopped at Safeway with kids from Collingwood School. And here we are we have almost, I think we have now 19 full-time employees that help us get this put together every week. We sometimes sort of sit back and go, wow, how did we get here? And the need just keeps growing. I mean, we're basically grown out of this warehouse. I mean, Mamlie Ann and I both, I grew up on the North Shore. She was born on the North Shore. And this is a great place for us because we live here. But we're probably going to have to move out closer into the valley eventually. Because this is just, we're outgrowing this really quickly.
Well, this facility is full. Really, it's full. And you have to be able to move around, so you can't really put anything more in here. So, wow.
But it shows you, you obviously just had that idea and you just started with the car, put it in the car and use
I can explain to you how the idea got started when we sit down.
It's remarkable for you to have started with that first step and now look at this
and see this.
Isn't it crazy?
It is.
It's like, how did this happen? But it did, and it just speaks to the need of the kids. I mean, there's 254,000 kids hungry in BC. In the new family survey that they do. Last year there was 162. So it's gone up by 30-odd%.
Wow.
So it's a labor of love for sure. It started out. Now it's kind of more of a. We don't get out on the road very much anymore, which is kind of a shame because that was the part that I really loved.
That would be the satisfying part, right? That would be, you see the faces, you see the gratitude, and you see that you're making a difference. Now you just have to kind of know.
You know you are.
You are, but it's that
anecdotal evidence. The boys often come back with stories, and we get lots of cards and lots of families, saying thank you, and it's amazing that we're here.
Okay.
Well, shall we go?
Yes.
Let's go.
Set up, and then we'll talk a little more.
Go to the office.
Sure.
Okay, here we are. Today we're speaking with Joanne Griffiths, co-founder and director of Backpack Buddies. Is that correct?
Director of Strategic Partnerships and co-founder.
Strategic Partnerships.
With my daughter.
All right, fantastic. So we like to start off with making our guests feel comfortable by doing an ABC 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
First thing that pops in your head.
First thing that pops into your head, I'm going to give you a choice, and here we go. Are you ready?
No.
There's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong. No.
I'm not being graded on this, am I?
Okay, here we go. A, passenger or driver?
Oh, driver.
I know. I'm a horrible passenger.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. I don't drink, so I'm always the driver.
Okay. Zombies or vampires?
Halloween's coming.
Halloween's coming, It's
Zombie.
Okay. All right. C, test the waters or dive into the deep?
Dive in to the deep.
Dive in. Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Straight in head first.
Ask questions next, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. What was your favorite book as a child? If you have one.
Oh, all the Enid Blyton series. I can't remember the names, but
the
Enid
Adventure?
Blyton. Yes.
My mom got me those because she was British, and
I'm British too. I was born there in England.
My mom's from Cambridge, and I remember going to the library with her, and she couldn't find them. I was in grade 3 or 4, and then she found copies. And I just got into those so much.
I loved Enid Blyton.
Yeah.
And Flowers in the Attic. That was another one that was really good.
Okay, number 2. If you had only one piece of music that you could listen to, you don't have to play it over and over again, but let's say you're on a deserted island and you have to play only one piece. Is there one piece you would choose?
Just Breathe by Oasis.
Okay. There you go.
Oh.
Good. Why that one?
Just my favorite. Oh, the
You
words, everything. My favorite song, the singing voice, just the whole. It's. I mean, because Oasis is known for kind of like rowdy music. This is not rowdy. It's super calming, and whenever I need something to calm me down, I play it.
Okay.
Nice.
And then number 3, when you grew up as a child, did you have a favorite teacher? And if you did, can you think of who he or she was?
Miss Blinkhorn.
Okay.
Great.
Blinkhorn, what a great name.
3.
Yeah.
In grade 3 or 4 at Stride Avenue. Not Stride Avenue. Yes, Stride Avenue.
Okay.
In Burnaby.
Okay. And what made her your favorite?
That's a really good question. She was very it was because I came from England and I was when I was 6.
Yeah.
So I had a really hard time fitting in to school then.
Yeah.
I had an English accent. I got bullied mercilessly. I still remember all these years later.
Yeah.
People calling me names for talking weird, so I was trying not to talk with an English accent. And we didn't have a lot of money, so we were eating hot dogs and pig's feet and things like that we went to the butchers to get. That used to be not food, really, but now it's delicacy.
Yeah.
And, well, not hot dogs, but pig's feet. I mean,
now it's
it made me into a vegetarian. I haven't eaten meat for 35 years. But she was very kind. She would take me to her house sometimes and, try and make me feel comfortable. And, she was just all around.
I had the opposite experience of you because when I was 5, my mom had to go back to Cambridge for about 6 months because her mom was dying.
Yeah.
And we went there, and I went to school in England when I was 5 in Cambridge, and people made fun of my accent.
Your accent,
Right?
It's amazing how fast you lose it, right?
And they all, are you American? No, I'm not American.
Yeah.
Right? I remember being annoyed by that, right? But eventually I did get along with it. It took a while. At first I was kind of bullied and ostracized, but then I made some good friends, and it was good in the end. But it was a challenge
you
at
have to lose
first.
the accent fast.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, Joanne, could you tell us what Backpack Buddies is and how does the program work?
So Backpack Buddies is a program that is made available to vulnerable kids to plug the weekend hunger gap. The school programs run during the week from Monday to Friday, and kids usually get, although I can be corrected on this now because I think it's changed quite a bit in the last couple of years, kids get lunch and sometimes breakfast from the Breakfast Club. And they go home on Friday afternoons, and they don't have food till they come back on Monday morning for those programs. So when we discovered that there was that gap, we decided that we were going to do something about it.
And what inspired that, to get that going in the first place?
I have 4 kids, and when my last child left to go to university, I was one of these empty nesters. Sat on my couch for a year going, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I've always been motivated by welfare of children. I helped build Canuck Place. I was one of the founding members of that all those years ago. And now, as we know, it was not everybody knows, but it was the very first freestanding hospice for children in North America. Right. And now there's hundreds of them following the model of Canuck Place. So I'd always wanted to do something with children. I couldn't figure out what to do until I went to see a friend of mine who worked at Grandview School on the downtown east side. She was an outreach worker, First Nations, and I have a great interest in medicinal plants, and there's a lot of native medicinal plants that she was growing in the school yard. So I went down there, and we went through a tour, and she was showing me all the different things about the medicinal plants. And we went back into her office, and we sat down, and I said, if you could have something for kids in your school, what's missing? What do you need? And she said, we need food for weekends.
Wow.
And that was kind of like my Oprah Winfrey aha moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Aha. I think we need to do something about this. So Emily Ann, my daughter, who is my co-founder, was working at a law firm with aspirations of possibly going to law school. And I called her up as soon as I left Erin at Grandview, and I said, we are going to start feeding kids on weekends. And she goes, Mom, here's this diving in head first, right?
There you go.
Mom,
You're in the deep end now.
you're nuts. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Anyway, I said, well, here's the idea. Let's talk about it. So it took a couple months to kind of get her warmed up and on board. And we didn't have any funding. We didn't know how we were going to start. So we decided to start at Collingwood, which is where all my kids went to school. So we went up there and talked to one of the kids in the service club and said, can you please help us with this project? We want to raise money. We want to feed kids on the downtown east side with food for weekends. And it took them a while to get it passed through different, I mean, as you know, you're teachers, it's you can't just say, okay, I'm going to do this. It's got to go through the, the motions. So it took a while for that. And then they decided, yes, this is a go. So they had a little fundraiser. It was called Dress Down Dress Down Fridays or something, where they could wear regular clothes and bring a toonie and donate it. We got enough money to buy enough food for 20 bags. So we took the kids, we went down to Safeway, we bought the food, we packed it in the back of my car, we took the kids down to Grandview, handed it out, and that's how it started. As grassroots as that.
You were in the deep end.
You were in the deep end.
But you kept your head above water.
Not all the time, but it's one of those things where you sort of see it. You see the need, you see the kids when you give them the bags of food. You can't unsee that. You have to keep going. And that's what we did.
How did it grow from there?
That's a really good question. I had a friend that I went to high school with, who I've known for, I'm not saying how long, and she worked for Remax. And one night we went out for wine, and I was telling her what we were doing and how, we were trying to figure out where to go next. And she said, well, I have my managing broker at Remax, and I'm going to talk to them to see what we can do to help you. So we went down to meet Deb, and she was, honestly, her and Denise, my friend, were instrumental in getting us, it still makes me emotional. They were instrumental in getting us to where we are. Deb said to me, if you needed 3 things, what would it be? What would you need to get going? And I said, we needed a van to deliver bags, because we couldn't do it out of my car anymore. We needed an office space to work from, and we needed storage. And at that time, I had this great idea of building a shipping container village. And so I said, we need shipping containers. We want to work out of shipping containers. So she went away, and about a week later, she called us, and she said, well, I'm giving you all 3 things. She bought us a van. She gave us space in their office, and she purchased 2 shipping containers for us.
Wow.
Which we put down on the First Nations land under the Lionsgate Bridge. Hereditary Chief Bobby, can't remember his name now. Oh my gosh, that's really bad. Anyway, he let us squat on his land for free.
Wow.
With the shipping containers.
Wow.
So that's where
all
we
those
started.
pieces came together.
It was how.
Wow.
And that was kind of the philosophy that Emily Ann and I had. We would go forward, and if the path was open and it was positive, we would keep moving forward. If it was a no, then we would shift directions. But we didn't get a lot of no's. It was crazy. And people could see the need in what we were doing. And the value in what we were doing to help kids learn. Because you can't learn if you're hungry.
Everything else is irrelevant.
Right?
It really is, right?
Yes. And if you're starving hungry, and a lot of behavioral issues and
all those things.
learning things all come from being hungry.
Of course. Of course.
So.
And you're building community.
Building community.
Building community.
Yeah.
So how many students do you support with Backpack Buddies right now?
We support about 6,500 kids a week now, which is crazy, up from the 20.
And how do you identify the schools where the need is? How do you connect with those schools? What's the process?
Well, interestingly enough, when we first started out, I literally sat on the phone calling schools, going, we have this program, are you interested? And I want to add about how we expanded in the beginning, because we had a model called Kids Helping Kids, and what we did was we went to schools like Collingwood, Brockton, St. George's, Crofton, all those schools. We presented our program, we got our foot in the door, we presented our program to them, and they helped us expand. They would do the same thing. They would fundraise with their service clubs. They would give us some money. We would go buy the food. We would drop off the food. They would pack the bags. We would go pick up the bags and then deliver them in our brand new Backpack Buddies mobile. That's how we got started. And I would sit on the phone going, we have this program. And people would first say, what are you talking about? And I would say, well, go and call Grandview, because Aaron was a big supporter of ours at the beginning. Go and call Grandview School. They will tell you what we do. And we got a lot of doors slammed in our faces at first, and then people just started going, this is great. We need this program in our school. Yeah. So we ended up with 19, we called them buddy schools, and we partnered them up with schools in need. And that's, if the school needed 50 bags, then that partnered school would do 50 bags.
Okay.
And that's our first fundraiser was a martini night down at the Yale Town Pub. And we raised $1,800 on, got 3 martinis for $10. And it was like a contest. Yeah. My son was one of the bartenders. And 50-50 draw, which I still have the box and the tickets in my office. And that was our very first fundraiser. Wow. And we had $1,800 that first year, and that's what we started on.
Wow. That's crazy.
That paid for gas.
Yeah.
In that first year, we didn't buy food at all for the first couple of years because we had this buddy school system. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we all know what happened in 2019 and 2020 when COVID hit, and we had to shut that down. Mm-hmm. We had moved from our shipping containers to a warehouse on Esplanade, which was 1,200 square feet. And literally when COVID hit, we were out packing bags on the street because we couldn't be
together. Yeah.
It was so funny. Volunteers kept coming. A lot of charities that had laid off their workers came to help us, which was amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah.
We were all in masks on the street, 6 feet apart, packing bags, and I did not manage to catch COVID then. And so the government funding that came out in those years was what helped us expand into here.
Yeah.
And since we've moved here in the last 5 years, our budget's grown from about $1.2 million to this year it's going to be upwards of $6 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
In just over a decade.
That's remarkable. Like that is,
Yeah. We have an amazing team now.
Yeah.
We have an amazing grant writer. She was our first employee. Well, she wasn't an employee. She was our first contract worker that we paid. And Lorraine, who is our logistics manager, she gets every bag with the help of Allison now. Allison's just new to us. But Lorraine was doing it before, every bag into every kid's hand every week. Wow. She's incredible. Yeah. So she was our first paid employee. She was part-time. And I looked at her when we hired her and I said, I'm going to hire you full-time. I know it. One of these days, we're going to have a full-time job for you. And sure enough, she was our first employee.
Wow.
Emily Ann and I didn't get paid for years. We just did it because, like you said, you see it, you can't unsee it, and you just keep going.
Yeah. But I mean, we've known you an hour, and I can see your energy and enthusiasm. Yes. It's probably a big reason too. You got to give yourself a major.
When my friends see me coming down the street, they cross this to the other side of the road because they know I'm going to ask them for money.
Right. But it takes that, and you have that.
It takes that.
Yeah. It does.
That enthusiasm and that.
And don't take no for an answer.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway. So we had a tour through the facility, and we know that the bags that the students receive, they've received them on Fridays, or
to take home for the weekend.
Yep. And could we go over what kind of food is put in those bags for students, so that our listeners get an idea of exactly what the contents of that bag would be?
We try, as you saw, to put healthy, single-serving, child-friendly, non-perishable food into the bags. And we put between 7 and 8 meals in the bag to last them from Friday to Monday morning. We have a whole variety of really, what we think is nutritious food now. We didn't before, but Lorraine has worked very hard on trying to stay within our budget of the $25 a backpack. We've got plant-based chilies and which comes from Sprague, which is a local company. We've got tuna and crackers. We've got hummus and crackers. We put, we do put things in like Kraft macaroni and cheese and noodles. We do have to be cognizant of what the kids like.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can't put food in there that they're not going to eat because then it kind of defeats the purpose. And we have done that before.
Yeah.
Like baked beans, we've seen them kicked around the field as soccer balls. So we know that baked beans are not a big thing
draw.
for kids. We try to, we don't try. We do vegetarian bags. We will do halal bags. We try, and we're starting off with a bit of a different program in Richmond where we are putting more culturally appropriate things in the bag because it's different culturally in Richmond than, say, Surrey or downtown East Side. So we're trying that this year. We've started that. So, yeah.
I mean, that's what impressed me the most when we toured was how balanced the meals are, right? And you obviously have to balance the fact that you've got to have it so it doesn't perish and those kind of things. But you've reached that. It's not just junk food, which so often you see is often it's the easiest thing to turn to.
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's better meals than some of them bring themselves at lunchtime, right?
That I've seen in some of the classrooms, yes.
I know. I've seen some of those meals they served at lunch, and it's not great.
Yeah.
Pizza and hot dogs and stuff. But it's also, we put fresh fruit now. We work with Ralph's Farms and Odd Bunch.
Oh, great. Good.
We work with them, and they're now putting together bags for us, little brown bags with baby carrots sometimes, pea pods, mini cucumbers. We got a bunch of tomatoes. So we're trying to put more fresh veg in there that's kind of stable because obviously it squishes because all the bags are squished together. And it has to be non-perishable. It'll last. Like blueberry, we got a whole donation of blueberries in the summer, but
they don't last.
They don't
No.
last.
They don't know.
They last like a day.
I mean, you're clearly having an impact. Is there any story you can share that you know that shows the impact you're having?
There's one story from
years.
Well, there's one story. Sorry for interrupting. There's one story years ago that Emily Ann and I always use to show what we actually do. We were down at Admiral Seymour, which was, I think, the second or third school we added. And that was back when Emily Ann and I did all the deliveries of the bags. And we got into the car and we just both started bawling our heads off. This one child had come up to us and said, I'm so happy for Backpack Buddies on Friday. She said, I'm so excited when I see you coming. Because she said, if I didn't have your food, all I would have over the weekend is water. And that's still that's sort of impressed on our hearts that this is, and those are the sorts of things when you think, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. Are we making a difference? Is it helping? And you get stories like that, and it's like, we're really helping. Yeah. Oh. And we're making a difference in these kids' lives. And that's one story that we often will,
of course,
talk about because we were both driving away going, oh! But we don't do the corporate, or we are more corporate now, as you can see from our office. Yeah. We don't get out on the road very much anymore. We have a team that does that for us. Yeah. But I do miss that because that's part of why we did it, why we started this, was to make a difference in kids' lives.
So what do you see as your biggest challenge right now, challenge to the organization in going to the next step or going forward from what you're doing right now?
The only challenge that we have is funding. That's what we need to get to the next step, to add more kids. We have a waiting list of about 2,000 kids. We have taken off about 600 this year due to two fairly large grants that we secured this year, and they're multi-year funding. And that's the thing that we have to be more cognizant of, is we never want to take a child off the program if they're added. So we have to be super careful with expanding. If we get the funding, we have to make sure that it's multi-year so that we can keep going with that amount of bags. Right. Because God forbid if
you had to pull back, right?
That would really suck, which is why it took 2 years for us to expand as much as we have. And so that's because we only focus, we have one program. That's it. We're not diluted in any way. We feed kids on weekends. Right. That's our main, that's it. That's all we do. So in order to expand that, it's just a matter of getting more funding. We're trying to talk the government into helping us out with their Feeding Futures program and their school program, the money that Carney has just designated for the next, as permanent funding now, which was only not permanent.
Right, yeah.
But we haven't been able to break into that yet because technically we're not a school program. We deliver our program through schools, but we're not a school program. So if we can we do get some of the funding. Some of the school districts, I think 3 of them, give us funding from that.
Okay.
But it's not designated for weekend programs.
I would imagine you're seeing the need growing.
Oh, it's, like I said to you before, there was 162,000 kids last year. Yeah. This year, it's 254,000 vulnerable children that we could feed. And we are only scratching the surface. We're not even doing 7,000 yet.
And why do you think it's growing?
Just the economy, the Trump tariffs. A lot of these families are working 2 and 3 jobs. And they're just not making ends meet. Everything. I mean, you know what it's like in the grocery store. I mean, you go and you buy a small bag of groceries, it's $60. Like, how do you feed a family when that's so... Like, the coffee that I buy used to be... For a tin of the coffee was $12.
Yeah.
It's 38 now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
CBC was just doing this program about food deserts and that in small communities. They often don't even have a supermarket anymore. So people have to go to the gas station to get just processed food, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger issue as well. Yeah.
We would love to expand more into northern communities. Yeah. We are in a few, but not nearly as many as we would like to be. And there again, it's funding and logistics. A lot of these northern communities don't have ways in. When the floods and the fires were on, we were helping out those communities, and we were flying food in and helicoptering food in and sending it in by boats to try and get it to families that were literally cut off.
Is there any other organization that you can dovetail with that is doing the same kind of thing that you can work in cooperation with?
There is another program. We're not working with them at the moment. We have tried in the past. We're trying again. So we'll see how. I'm not going to say who it is, but we're going to see. But there is only one other program, and it's not really like ours. Ours, we take the food to the children, and there's 1 bag per child. Their program is more family-oriented.
Okay.
And we're not family size oriented. We're for just a single bag for a single child.
Yeah. It's too bad you couldn't get stable funding from the government. That was just...
You know what? It's not through lack of trying.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you've probably explored every avenue possible.
We have.
Right? Yeah. Because I remember when I started teaching in the 90s, there was a hot lunch program. Yeah. It was very successful, but of course... the economy turns, and suddenly these things get pulled back at a time when we need them more than ever.
And they put apples and granola bars in the classrooms.
Right.
Yes.
Sorry? Like, that's not working.
We've talked about that, right?
Yes, we have, because, I know the BC Ministry of Education sees that there is a need in the schools. And some of the programs they have right now, they have, I think, all... that I've seen in North Vancouver, all schools have refrigerators in them, and they have apples, and they have carrots, and they have celery sticks, boiled eggs, but it's not. It's just a light snack. It's not something that's very has a good nurturing, so nutrient dense.
Exactly.
Meal.
Yeah, and I feel it's kind of spread out. Sorry, Roy, but I think it's spread out thin among everybody rather than focusing on those that really need it.
Funny, I heard about those boiled eggs last week. A group donated a bunch of boiled eggs, and I'm thinking, what is the school going to do with a bunch of boiled eggs?
Oh dear, we've seen them.
Yes, we have some. So they do get eaten.
Thanks, Agri-BC.
But not enough.
Yes.
By Friday, because they need to get everything out of the refrigerator, they're trying to give, the students are going down the hall and say, "Hey, do you want a bag of carrots? Do you want?" It's different.
Is that train gonna?
It's good background sound. There you go.
Those trains are so loud.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And they are miles and miles long.
Yeah.
It'll probably go for 20 minutes.
I mean, I live on 11th, and I hear it. Don't imagine you hear.
6 feet off our...
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. It's good background.
So you strike me as someone who this is what I'm doing right now, but I have some other ideas too. Do you have anything percolating on the back of the stove that you really is like, because when I was looking at my notes and looking at things, I was thinking, well, what do students do at spring break, right? So do you have something in the back of your mind? You strike me that you might.
We have had the school breaks in mind for years, but it's very difficult to do because there's no school. And that's how we get to the kids, is through schools. This year we did a market-style program in Surrey, fully funded by Surrey, thankfully. And we did family, it's hard to describe. What we got family-size bags of food, much like I was just saying we didn't do, but we did this just for this summer program to pilot it, to see if it worked. And we partnered with, there was a group out in Surrey, and you know what, the name escapes me. We work with so many different agencies, and they donated produce and perishable. And we loaded up our big truck, and we took it out there, and we went 3 days a week, and it was set up like a market style. So we lined up all of the produce on the tables, and then there was a bag of food at the end which contained like family-size spaghetti, pasta, family-size, all sorts of different stuff that we had in the bag that we had purchased. And that was kind of an experiment that we did to try and get food to families during the summer. It was only in Surrey. It was successful to a point. The biggest problem, which is why our program is so successful, is families getting to us.
Okay.
We get to the kids by going through the schools and dropping the bags off at the schools, and the kids get them there. So families had sometimes tough times, especially on the rainy days. Remember at the beginning of the summer how much it rained?
Yeah.
So families trying to get to the schools to pick the bags up was an issue.
Yeah.
That's kind of all we have going at the moment. We did it in spring break as well. It was more successful in spring break, and I think because it was only 2 weeks long, and we handed all the food out at the beginning of the school year, at the beginning of the break. This year, during the summer, we did this program for about 6 weeks, and we did 3 different schools, 3 different days. Like we did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 different schools on those 3 different days. And it, like I say, it wasn't as successful as we had hoped. It was more successful in the beginning, not on the rainy days, but then at the end, it just tapered off.
Yeah.
So we haven't, we're always thinking about how to try and get to the kids in the summer and spring break. Christmas we don't do because there's a lot of programs through Christmas that give out food.
Yeah.
And one Christmas, families ended up with a turkey, a ham, and a salmon. And what do you do with a turkey and a ham and a salmon in a week, right? Yeah. So we didn't do anything that week, or for those 2 weeks. And we let other agencies, which there are plenty of at Christmas time, and we save our resources for...
And you kind of referred to that earlier. I think you want to be successful where you've been successful, right?
Yeah.
If you spread yourself out to places where you're not, then it's just going to take away from those areas.
Yeah.
So we really encourage our listeners to hopefully support Backpack Buddies. How would you... encourage people to support? What should they do? How can they help out? How can they find out about you, and where can they go?
We have an amazing website, backpackbuddies.ca, not .com or .org, .ca.
We'll put a link on our website.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And there is everything you need to know about Backpack Buddies on that incredible website. We spent 2 years building that, and it went live last summer, and it's amazing. Okay. There is ways to donate on the website. You can donate for 1 bag of food, $25 for a weekend. You can donate for 2. You can donate for a month. You can support a child for a whole year, which is, I think, $940. That's how you can support. Volunteering, we have been one of those agencies that has had the most amazing success with volunteers. Okay. And we have about 500.
Wow.
And when our we send out once a quarter volunteer sign-ups, and we're full within an hour of having...
That's amazing.
That's heartwarming.
Yes, it is.
So
it is.
We also have a Pack and Give Back program, which I just want to give a quick plug for corporations or anybody that really wants to go and raise money for us. And what it is you donate to the program, usually a minimum of $5,000, and then you can book a time on a Tuesday or a Thursday and come and pack bags for us. Okay. And you usually bring a team, like if you have an office team, or you have a team of neighbors or whatever to come down and pack the bags. That's a big fundraiser for us, and it's called Pack and Give Back. Lots of information on the website about that as well.
Well, I want to thank you, Joanne, for this opportunity to get to know you and get to know about Backpack Buddies. You're such a passionate person, and
It's contagious.
It is, and I knew of your organization, but you gave us a depth of understanding that we didn't have, and we're going to definitely continue to encourage our listeners to reach out to Backpack Buddies in whatever way feels comfortable for them.
Thank you. This has been just fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It's blowing me away. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we're back in the box, and I'm just glowing from that great walkthrough at Backpack Buddies and a chance to meet Joanne.
Yes, it gave me such a positive feeling.
Yeah.
These things are happening in our community for our students, for the students of our listeners here in North Vancouver.
Yeah.
And it's just fantastic what an inspiration, an idea that comes to your head. Say, I want to feed children, and say, let's do it.
And Joanne talked about jumping in the deep end rather than just dipping her toe in, and it's wonderful that she's that kind of personality. Because look what has happened because of her passion, right?
So if our listeners want to continue to support Backpack Buddies, there are some ways that they can get involved.
Okay. Well, they can donate. For $25, it covers a weekend. But if you obviously want to provide more money, it will cover more weekends for a child. So that's the simplest way and the most immediate way to help out. What else?
That's right. You can volunteer. Those bags have to be packed. There was 6,000 bags.
The volume is amazing.
With 6,000 bags, and I think she said 6 meals in a bag.
I think so.
And so packing those bags, delivering the bags to the students, there's always a need for that kind of support.
Yeah, and listeners, spread the word. Share this episode or talk about Backpack Buddies with friends and colleagues. Let them know about this amazing organization.
Yes. Visit backpackbuddies.ca to learn more about this organization. They have an amazing website.
Yeah, and we'll make a link on our own website on stuntbrothers.ca and our Facebook group as well for After the Bell. We'll make a link to help you out.
And I want to give a huge thanks to our guest, Joanne Griffiths from Backpack Buddies. What she shared with us was truly inspirational.
She's so inspiring, and to me, she really is a local hero.
Yes.
And just coming through Thanksgiving, it's wonderful to be thankful that we have someone like Joanne in our community doing this for the kids of British Columbia.
Yes.
This podcast is organic, taking shape with each episode. Building resiliency for teachers everywhere.
That sounds great.
And our website is stuntbrothers.ca.
That's stuntbrothers.ca.
We will chat again.
After the bell.